Live from Studio 6 in downtown Wenatchee, the NCW Life Channel proudly presents Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Let me rephrase that. The NCW Life Channel presents Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. We'll remove proudly
with Dan Koontz
from that sentence because you never know how this show is going to go. Dan Koontz, your host. Thank you, Steve, for the introduction. Steve Hare, our news director, to my immediate left. Kat in control, and Carly and Kaylee in the green room. Carly Ludlow and Kaylee Peterson will be joining us in the second half of the program to talk about the Green Bag program and AmeriCorps.
Good.
They'll be on the show second half. Good conversation. You don't want to miss that.
Are we safe yet?
Yeah.
Are we safe? Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
Obviously, the big thing around here is all anybody's talking about, you know, England or Croatia in the World Cup semifinals. Steve, who do you like?
I'm picking Croatia.
All right, I'm going with England. Got to go with the mother country.
Yeah.
So I follow the World Cup.
You know, those Croats.
Yeah, what do you do? They weren't even a country 20 years ago. England's got 2,000 years on them. Am I the only one in the office that actually is even following the World Cup?
Probably.
Okay.
For me, it's a boring sport.
No, it's the beautiful game.
Wow.
Guys falling down and yelling at each other and yellow cards and.
Well, if they make one goal, 7 points, then I'm happy with that. We're scoring.
I will follow the World Cup all the way to the bitter end.
Follow a ball around the field, and that's it. That's it.
It's a great sport. I mean, we're not going to get into this debate about soccer and everything like that. Although I must say, I have this. You brought this up, and maybe I should mention this. I have this weird affinity for what many people think are boring sports, and by that I like baseball, and a lot of people think baseball is boring. And I like to watch soccer. Soccer is boring. I like to watch golf. Golf is boring.
Oh, I love golf. I love baseball, but it's just the scoring part of it. You know, there's always something exciting in golf. You're always waiting for that, you know, that hole-in-one or a circus shot that somebody makes. And then in baseball, of course, you always have the...
Baseball, you never know what's going to happen.
You never know what's going to happen. Yeah. But in soccer, it's just running around the field all day and kicking the ball back and forth and no scoring.
Yeah, all of those things that you said are technically true, but it doesn't mean it can't be an enjoyable sport.
Well, I don't want to begrudge anybody. But,
it's the most popular sport in the world.
Well,
I mean, the semifinals today, England and Croatia, 1 billion people are going to watch it on television. That's like 1/7 of the world's population. I might as well be one of them.
Okay.
Anyway, enough of this nonsense. Good looking weather forecast. Get ready for some hot weather. The first long stretch of hot weather we've had in quite some time. Relative humidity is going to be low, but very little wind.
Saving grace there.
Yeah, fires will be our top story. Steve is going to handle the news here in just a couple of minutes. Let's take you around north central Washington with our Valley View cameras. And we say good morning to the Wenatchee Valley. We did not use the cross camera yesterday because of the wind. It gets blown around and starts shaking, and everybody looks like we're having a 4.3 magnitude earthquake. That's not the case. It's just the camera shakes in the wind. Not today. Beautiful morning.
Boy, well, it was beautiful yesterday morning. You know,
it was.
Wasn't too windy.
It wasn't too windy, and then the winds picked up. But we don't have any wind at all in the forecast. There's a big dome of high pressure that's starting to build up, and it's going to be around for a while. A little cold front over the weekend, and then it rebuilds again. So we're in for a long stretch of sunny and warm weather. In fact, the hottest weather of the year.
No precipitation in view, huh?
You're going to see a bunch of yellow globes when we bring up the weather graphic in just a couple of minutes. Camera 2. Kat, our producer, says, let's pay a visit to Rock Island.
Oh, wow.
I believe, and that is Rock Island, correct? Yeah, that is Rock Island. You can see the golf course at the bottom.
Ponds and the golf course there in the foreground.
That's a beautiful view from there, isn't it?
Isn't it?
And that's been a handy camera lately. We've been using that camera quite a bit because it kind of peeks over the edge and gets us out into the Columbia Basin a little bit.
That's beautiful.
Good morning, Rock Island. You can almost actually you can see the Rock Island golf course. You can make out the very edges of Pangbourne Airport, I believe, from up there.
That's a town on the move, by the way.
That is. They're moving Rock Island?
Mayor Randy Agnew and his...
Oh, you mean that? You meant that in an existential way. No. I thought they were moving the town.
Oh.
Like they had to do with Aniat. No. Camera 3. What are we looking at? We are looking at Union Valley up in Chelan. Am I correct?
Now you look up there at the top of the butte, and they'll be launching off of there the paraglider competition, and kind of halfway expect to see a few aircraft in the sky this morning.
Yeah, it's going to be a perfect day for that.
Yeah.
Absolutely. We should send you up there with a GoPro camera strapped to your head and shove you off the cliff and see what happens. I don't know, just a thought. Tell my wife I love her. Down you go.
Gliding. I stopped gliding when Arnie Clark took me up.
Yeah, that's right. You and Arnie went up on a glider. Yeah. No, I want my airplanes to have an engine. Thank you very much. Camera 4. Okay, this is going to be a motion camera. That's Nantipoc.
Oh, Nantipoc Ridge.
And now we're going to move it around a little bit. See, watch Kat work her magic. with the mouse and the point and the click, and there we go. We're zooming out. Still quite a bit of snow in the Cascades, and we're going farther and farther out. Look at that beautiful green area. Of course, that area was in the news when they purchased a bunch of land from Weyerhaeuser to keep it from being logged, which is good news for me. I love that area. Look at that nice pan. Just gorgeous. It's a good place to go this time of the year. You can escape the heat. It's usually about 10, 15 degrees cooler up at Lake Wenatchee Plain area, number one. And number two, they're done with the mosquitoes.
I'm heading up there this weekend.
That's right, you are, aren't you?
Yeah.
So you're taking Monday off?
Taking Monday and Tuesday.
Oh, and Kat's taking Monday off.
Yeah.
I guess I'm doing a solo show. Anyway, those cameras, all of them that you see there, those spectacular high-definition footage, courtesy of Localtel's Sky-Fi high-speed wireless internet setup. 6 minutes after the hour, the forecast looks like this.
Hot.
Sun, 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 sun. Dome of high pressure is centered just above the Oregon-California border, Steve, and that means warm and dry weather through the rest of the work week. Hottest temperature of the year expected on Friday. Then we warm back up again for the early part of next week, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. If you don't have your AC working yet, fire it up. Just a weak, dry cold front's going to push through the area Friday evening into Saturday. Normally when that happens, we expect winds, but we're not. Northwest wind today, 5 to 8. Northwest wind tonight, 5 to 8. Northwest wind around 5. No wind Thursday night. No wind Friday. We got nothing here. No wind at all. So that's exactly what we like. If we're going to have sunny and hot temperatures, we don't want the wind, and we're not going to get the wind.
Although humidity levels are still rather low and the temperatures are hot, and that fire danger is still there, folks, even without
relative humidity is at its highest in the very, very early morning hours, around 4 or so in the morning. It gets up to about 40% relative humidity, and then late in the afternoon it drops all the way down to the 20s for the most part, and that's dry. I mean, we live in a desert climate. You know, people forget that sometimes. 7 minutes after the hour, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, Steve is going to have your latest headlines, including, for a couple of hours anyway, things look a little dicey above Crescent Bar, but we got some good folks who know what they're doing when it comes to fighting fires. The news is 1 minute away, and it's brought to you by our friends at Cascade Medical Center. Train with a physical therapist who loves the outdoors as much as you do. Cascade Medical Center, partners in your health.
The physical therapists at Cascade Medical love the outdoors as much as you do. But sometimes where there's love, there's also pain. Let us help you get back to the activities that you love. Cascade Medical, partners in your health.
RLS Productions presents Concerts in the Gardens held at Omi Gardens this coming summer, featuring the Infinity Project, a Journey tribute band, Too Slim and the Tail Draggers, the Wenatchee Swingin' Big Band, the Peter Rivera Band, and Invisible Touch, a Phil Collins tribute band. The objectives of the series are to increase midweek tourism to the Wenatchee Valley, the development of a world-class series overlooking the Wenatchee Valley, along with awarding annual scholarships to Wenatchee Valley College students. RLS Productions would like to thank their supporters and volunteers for helping make this all possible.
And now it's time for your local news update with Steve Hare.
Good morning and welcome back to the program. Here's some of the stories we're following today on a Wednesday, July 11th. And of course, wildfires dominate our news this morning. First of all, the winds that pushed a wildfire toward homes in the Crescent Bar area yesterday have subsided, and much relief being felt this morning. Firefighters got the break they needed to stop that fire's advance. State troopers say the fire ignited from sparks from a blown tire, as seen here in an image that was provided to us by the Washington State Patrol. It was fanned by 30-mile-an-hour gusts and within minutes triggered level 3 evacuation notices for residents in the Mansfield Road area. Here pictured on our map, traffic was slowed along Highway 28 in the Trinidad area as crews from Chelan, Grant, Douglas County, along with state DNR, they threw everything at it yesterday afternoon. At last report, the fire had been put under control, evacuations lifted, no reports of any structure damage or injuries, thanks to that rapid response, and the 3-alarm fire was put out. Meanwhile, elsewhere, the Kittitas County Sheriff's Department reports the wind-whipped ryegrass coulee wildfire near Vantage, 1,600 acres, now 50% contained. Evacuations have been lowered as the threat to the town of Vantage has decreased. The fire has burned a 4.5-mile stretch of land, both north and south of I-90. On I-90, more than 400 guardrail posts burned due to the fire. I-90 reopened at noon yesterday, had been completely shut down overnight. Fire Command reports only one small structure was lost. Fire departments from Wenatchee, Monitor, Leavenworth, Entiat, and Twisp all arrived at that fire yesterday to help in mutual aid. And of course, thank you to Cairo 7 News for sharing that video footage with us here at NCW Live News. Also on another fire front, a new blaze to report, this time in the Upper Valley near Leavenworth. Forest Service firefighters responded to a blaze in the Beaver Creek area yesterday. It's about 12 miles northeast of Leavenworth on the Wenatchee River Ranger District of the forest. Member of the public reported the fire Tuesday morning. Now, as of 5 o'clock yesterday, the fire was at about 6 acres in size, burning in heavy timber and dead and downed fuels. About 50 firefighters were fighting the blaze at last report, including an engine, 3 helicopters, and an air attack plane. 1 tanker load of retardant was also used on that fire. A helicopter base was being set up at Fish Lake Airstrip, and the public was advised to be cautious while driving in the area, especially along Highway 2, due to both increased fire and aircraft traffic. There are currently no road or trail closures in place, no structures at risk, and no evacuation levels there either. Also, managers report the Little Camas fire is now 74% contained as crews begin the process of mopping up hot spots within the containment perimeter. They say heavy fuels within that perimeter will continue to burn, but it appears at this point the fire is in its death throes as calmer conditions allow crews to make headway. The level 1 evacuation notices for the Camas Meadows Bible Camp and the neighboring homes there have been lifted. Some hiking trails, however, remain closed in that fire area. Now, the fire is estimated right now downsized, actually, at 394 acres. Also this morning, bail has been set for the Wenatchee man who was charged with running his ex-girlfriend off the road and causing her death. On Monday, bail was set at $1 million for 26-year-old Carlos Carranza Ibarra. Ibarra was charged with second-degree murder after he struck a vehicle driven by 24-year-old Jessica Kuwali of Quincy. Happened Saturday morning on Highway 28, forcing her SUV to roll into an irrigation ditch where she died from her injuries. Carranza Ibarra then fled the scene. He escaped, captured by Quincy police, but was later apprehended at a residence in Wenatchee off Boudry Street. Carranza Ibarra had 3 active warrants when he was taken into custody, including 2 in Chelan County for a no-contact order violation in connection to an alleged 2016 domestic violence assault against the boyfriend. Arraignment has been set, or the girlfriend rather, arraignment has been set for July 23rd in that case. Chelan County Regional Justice Center director resigns amid reports of financial and staffing problems at the jail. County Commissioner Keith Overbay says, or rather Kevin Overbay, says the board accepted Kurt Lutz's resignation Monday. He says it was a mutual agreement.
It wasn't really a surprise. This is something that has been worked on over the last couple of weeks. You know, we are identifying some areas in the jail that you know, maybe need some attention and so forth. And so, as we were working through the process, you know, it was kind of a mutual thing that we decided that we needed to go another direction. But there were some great things that Kurt was able to institute while he was here, you know, with regards to mental and behavioral health and so forth, and those avenues within the jail. So.
Now, Overbay said the commissioners were aware of some problems involving communications between jail management and corrections staff that did play a role in Lutz's departure. Commissioner Keith Gaynor comments.
Well, the population is less than it has been in years past, but the type of inmate that we've been housing has changed considerably. And the way the jail was configured when it was first constructed is not the way jails are built today. So, you know, staffing is an issue as far as making sure you have good coverage. And so, you know, there are things that we have done. Most recently, we've upgraded the radio system so that there is, you know, safety and for the officers. And it's something that we're going to have to really take a good hard look at, is what are the immediate needs that really should be addressed, you know, immediately, as I say, and then you know, make sure that we find a way to ensure the security and safety of everyone that's in that facility.
Now, commissioners also point to the jail's finances as a cause for concern that led to Lute's resignation. Commissioners have hired Bill Larson to replace Lutz as interim jail director. Larson, a former commander with the Washington State Patrol Wenatchee office, he also was employed by Chelan County PUD, where he retired as the district's security chief. Chelan PUD commissioners Monday moved a step closer to creating a new nonprofit research institute with the goal of helping dam operators around the world improve operations and supporting hydropower technology hub right here in the Wenatchee Valley. Now, the PUD's Director of Generation and Transmission, Kirk Hudson, said the inspiration for the Research Institute came from the community during strategic planning.
I think one of the things that we've really prided ourselves in and this concept and formation of it is the flexibility that hydropower owners are pretty much all over the map in terms of how far they've gone on the journey of digital transformation. For those that are just starting, this will provide them the basics for getting involved. For those that are very sophisticated and have already spent millions and millions of dollars, they'll have the capability to use what they've already developed if they would like to. Or they can go out and use open source software. So there's a lot of flexibility in terms of how each entity involved in this can actually get access to the data and the software programs that they can use to analyze the data.
Commissioners unanimously authorized the approval of a bridging agreement that sets in motion forming the organization and its governing board. Commissioners approved $1 million in public power benefit funding for the hydropower research. Earlier this year, they allocated an initial $500,000 to launch the new institute. We have more on this story on our website at ncwlife.com. Well, if you're missing a pet, if you've been bolted during the fireworks displays this July 4th, well, you're not alone. In fact, the Humane Society here in the Wenatchee Valley has been responding to reports of lost animals. In fact, Megan McPherson was talking with some officials with animal control yesterday about the situation and what you can do about it.
Hey guys, Megan here with the NCW Life channel. We are here with Renee Parkins, the Development Officer of the Wenatchee Valley Humane Society, and we spoke with Renee last week about pets who typically run away from home whenever they get scared from the fireworks. Renee, how many people at large called about lost pets this year?
So on the 4th of July, we had 21 at-large calls, which means that people reported either their dog missing or finding a dog or cat, an animal at large in the community.
And how many reports do you get per day on lost pets?
Typically we get 7, so that's about 3 times as many in one day. Yeah.
And how many pets were returned to their owners?
We had 4 returned to owners in the field, which meant their animals never came here. And then we had 2 attempted, which means we called and we're just not able to connect with that owner. We don't know, though, how many, because we just haven't seen our numbers yet from Pet Hub, how many animals were returned to owners because of their new ID tags. So I would just encourage if people have those stories to let us know. We'd love to hear about your Pet Hub's license success story.
So if someone has a successful pet reunion and they want the world to know, what should they do?
They can email us at wvhs@wenatcheehumane.org.
All right. Well, thank you, Renee.
Thanks, Megan.
Megan McPherson, NCW Life News.
I know, we weren't alone on the bed on July 4th.
You had a full house there?
Oh boy, we had 2 cats and the dog.
Yeah.
Hugging both of us. You know,
Oh, I bet.
yeah.
Is the new kitty getting along with Thumbelina and the other cat?
I think they tolerate each other. That's
Okay.
what dogs and cats do, basically.
Yeah.
They tolerate each other, but there's no lasting bond there, I don't think.
Okay. As
Yeah.
long as they stay away from each other's food, they're happy, right?
Well, yeah.
Yeah. So it is just about 20 minutes after the hour on this Wednesday edition of Wake Up Wenatchee. Still to come, sports. Good night for the Apple Sox, not so much for the Mariners. Apple Sox have placed 4 people on the All-Star team. We'll talk about that when we get to sports. We have the obscure holiday of the day today in history. Birthdays, everyone is entitled to Mike Minotti's opinion, plus my conversations with a couple of lovely young ladies who are patiently standing by, provided they haven't escaped out of the back room. Kaylee Peterson and Carly Ludlow will be here in the second half of the show. And we have a newscast. We put it together. We're pretty proud of it. You can watch it on television, or as we like to say in the business, TV. You can do that on at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock. 5, 6, and 10. 3 ways to consume your news over the air. And then, of course, You can watch it on demand. You can go to our website. We get it up and running late in the afternoon, early in the evening, ncwlife.com. We also put it on our Facebook page.
Right.
And since we work in a technologically driven field, we try to make it as easy as possible for you folks to get a hold of us, don't we, Steve?
That's right. Many of the same methods, of course. You can communicate with us on our website at ncwlife.com. Talk to us on Facebook and Twitter, as always, and join the conversation because we're always posting something there. News at ncwlife.com is the address to our email. Let us know about what's going on out there. If there's any news, story ideas you have or programs you want us to cover, just let us know that way. And as always, our breaking news hotline available to you at 888-6295.
Have fun, hang gliding up there at Chelan Butte this afternoon. I'm looking forward to seeing that footage tomorrow.
Yeah, yeah, I'll bet. I'll bet.
It is 60 degrees, sunshine, high today of 90, then 95, and then 97, a little cooler for the weekend, but we're going to be in the 90s for the foreseeable future. Just a friendly reminder, it's July. Going to take a break. Sports is next. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley live from Studio 7 in downtown Wenatchee on the NCW Live channel.
Hey folks, Carrie from Blueberry Hills in Manson, where we've got huge news. We've started our Blueberry U-Pick. It's a great time to toss the family in the car and get on out to Blueberry Hills, where you can get the best down-home scratch country cooking around and pick some of the world's most delicious and largest blueberries that have been high desert farmed. This makes for an intense blueberry flavor, and they are so much fun to pick. Our fields are open 8 to 2:30 daily and restaurant from 8 to 3, so come on out and join us.
I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the NCW Life channel.
I'm Eric Grandstrom with NCW Life Sports.
I'm NCW Life News Director Steve Hare.
Catch us on Local Tel Channel 12.
You can watch us on Charter Channel 19 or stream us live on ncwlife.com.
Follow us on Twitter and like us on Facebook.
Where we cover the local high schools, the Wenatchee Wild, and the pro teams out of Seattle.
On Saturday, we have a 90% chance of rain.
Catch it all right here on the NCW Life channel.
And we are back on this Wednesday edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. I am Dan Coon. Sports. Wenatchee native Jacob Prater powered the Apple Sox past the Bellingham Bells 6-2, the final last night at Paul Thomas Senior Field. Prater is an alumnus of both Wenatchee High School and Everett Community College. He's currently attending Seattle University. Prater got things going for the Apple Sox in the bottom of the first inning.
And a 1-2 count with 2 outs. Connects on this ball. Skies in there toward right center field. Moving back and watching it sail over the wall is the right fielder Matt. A 3-run homer, first of the season for Jacob Prater. The Sox have the lead. It's 3-1 in the bottom of the first.
Joel Norman with the call on the Apple Sox Radio Network. Video courtesy of the Apple Sox Facebook page. Prater finished the night 2 for 4, 3 runs, 4 RBIs. Hunter Boyd improved to 3-1 of the season. He got the victory on the mound. He went 6 innings. He allowed 2 runs, 5 hits, 7 strikeouts. Alec Gomez working 3 innings of relief for his first save. He struck out 5. The two teams meet again tonight, 7:05. Wenatchee's Grady Miller, another Wenatchee High School alumnus, will take on Wesley Moore of the Bells. All right, to the Les Schwab scoreboard. From last night, West Coast League, Austin Feist was a home run shy of the cycle for the Corvallis Knights. The right fielder went 4 for 5, 2 runs, and a 5-4 11-inning victory on the road at Yakima Valley. Taylor Wright's RBI base hit scored Cody Crowder in the bottom of the 10th. Kelowna got by Cowlitz 4-3 that game at Elks Stadium. Jedediah Fagg's 2-run base hit in the bottom of the 10th helped erase a 1-run deficit. Victoria gets over Bend 5-4. By the way, Fagg also had a home run in the game, drove in 3 RBIs. Mike Perez's 3-run home run broke a 7-7 tie in the bottom of the 8th, propelled Portland to a 10-7 victory over Walla Walla. The Pickles pounded 4 home runs in the game. Xander Clark hitting his league-leading 8th in the 5th. And in the one non-league game on Tuesday, Port Angeles brought 10 men to the plate in a 5-run 4th, and they beat Highline 7-1. West Coast League schedule for today, you see it on your screen, courtesy of our friends at Les Schwab. Cowlitz is at Kelowna. Victoria will host Bend. Walla Walla continues their series at Portland. Yakima Valley will host Corvallis, and the one non-league game, Highline, is at Port Angeles. 4 Apple Sox players are All-Stars. They were named to the West Coast League All-Star North Division roster on Tuesday. Curtis Bafus Mason Marenko, Cody Meyer, and Jeremy Yelland, all selected by Commissioner Rob Nyer to represent the Wenatchee Apple Sox in the midsummer event. Bayfus is 3 for 3 with a 2.94 ERA in 6 appearances, 5 starts this summer. He's second in the West Coast League in innings pitched with 36 2/3. He is third in strikeouts with 34. Marenko is batting .284, leads the Apple Sox with 10 extra base hits. He has a .481 slugging percentage. Meyer, a recent transfer from Boise State, is hitting .299, leads the Apple Sox with 3 home runs and 16 RBIs. Yellen doesn't have a record. He's not allowed any earned runs in 7 appearances. That's good. He's just had 1 start for the Apple Sox. He's the only player in the West Coast League to have made at least 7 appearances and still not allow an earned run. Port Angeles will be the site of the All-Star game that will be next Tuesday. Well, baseball, Mariner style. Albert Pujols and Cole Calhoun homered to help erase an early 3-run deficit, and the Angels powered right by the Mariners 9-3. Was the final in Anaheim last night. Mitch Haniger gave Seattle an early lead, 3-run shot in the top of the first inning, and it was all L.A. from there. The Angels teed off on Mariner starter Mike Leake. He went just 4 innings. He allowed 7 runs and 11 hits. Mariner manager Scott Servais says this is a few outings in a row now where Leake doesn't have his best stuff.
You know, we got off to a good start, obviously. You know, we were on Richards early. You know, Haney put a good swing on him to get the 3-run homer. But, you know, pitching-wise, not our night. You know, Mike Leaker had a tough time getting the ball down and keeping it out of the middle of the plate. So, you know, been a couple of rough outings for him, and he had such a long stretch where he was so consistent, really on top of it. It was 6-7 innings every time out. So, you know, got to get him back on track. Really important part of our starting rotation and our pitching here going forward. He's been really good the first half. You know, just been a little bit a struggle for him the last couple times out.
Game 2 tonight in this series between these two teams. 7:07 first pitch. Marco Gonzalez, a familiar name to all of us, goes against Jamie Beredia. With Seattle's loss, we go to the Schwab scoreboard. How did the rest of the American League West fare last night? Well, the Boston Red Sox are red hot, make it 8 in a row. They beat Texas 8-4 at Fenway last night. Wild game in Houston. Oakland rallies. They tied the game with 4 runs in the 9th inning. And then in the 11th, Stephen Piscotty gave the A's the lead with a home run. And then the bottom of the 11th inning, you have to watch the video. It's really incredible. Houston's Alex Bregman hit a ball about 5 feet. It just kind of bounced in front of the plate. It bounced foul. Then it went fair with the spin. The Oakland catcher picked up, tried to tag him, couldn't, threw to first on the error, and the guy came in from second to score the winning run on a baseball that was hit about that far. Astros lead in the West is now 4 in front of the Mariners, and that's sports at 28 minutes after the hour. The obscure holiday of the day today. How many people live on this little orb that we float around in the Milky Way, this little bitty planet out in the middle of nowhere? Today's World Population Day. There are 7,485,104,882 of us as of 7 o'clock this morning. We add another person to this planet. The net gain between people born and people who pass away, about 1 person every 12 seconds. The 4 largest countries in the world by population: China, India, the United States, and Indonesia. But India will probably pass China as the most populous country in the world, they say, within the next decade or so. World Population Day, the annual observance to remind people there might be too many of us. Didn't take us very long to get to this point. This is a fascinating fact. In 1000 AD, there were about 400 million people on the planet. It would take 804 years from that point to get to 1 billion. So in 1804, there were about 1 billion people on this planet. It took 156 years to add 2 billion to bring the world population to 3 billion. That was in 1960. 40 years later, in the year 2000, we added another 3 billion. That brought us up to 6 billion, and now 16 years later, we're up over 7 billion, 7.5 billion people. And about 30% of the world's population growth is due to unwanted or accidental pregnancies. And you got to keep in mind, a lot of people in third world countries die prematurely because of poor sanitation, poor drinking water, bad diet, and yet we're still cranking out more babies than we can probably handle. World Population Day. There's a lot of us. We keep hearing we're making too many babies. 29 minutes after the hour. Today in history. Happy birthday to the United States Marine Corps. Semper Fi. They were born again, I guess, on this date 220 years ago. Like the Navy, the Marines have 2 birthdays. The United States Marine Corps, of course, was originally formed in November 1775. They were known as the Continental Marines, and they were there to fight the Revolutionary War. Well, in case you missed it, we won the war, and so the Continental Marines were disbanded, and everybody went home to their plows in 1783, and then the United States quickly realized, you know, I think we need the Marines back, and they brought them back on this date, July 11, 1798, under their present name, the United States Marine Corps, 220 years ago. According to legend, the first Marine Corps recruitment took place in a bar in Philadelphia. As the story goes, nobody really knows this is true or not, but it's Marine lore anyway. Honorary Marines, you can be one. Gary Sinise is an honorary Marine. He does a lot of work for the Marine Corps. Chuck Norris is an honorary Marine, and so is the late Jim Neighbors. Gomer Pyle, USMC. Golly, Sergeant Carter, happy birthday to the United States Marine Corps. We talk about political divisions here in this country nowadays. Well, at least our vice president doesn't go shooting Alexander Hamilton anymore. I mean, we're through with that, right? This is the anniversary of the duel, the most famous duel in American history. 214 years ago today, July 11th, 1804, the Vice President of the United States, Aaron Burr, shoots and kills the former Secretary of the Treasury, Alexander Hamilton. These guys really didn't like each other. Believe it or not, the duel was fought at the time when the practice of dueling was being outlawed, but it wasn't quite outlawed yet. Alexander Hamilton died. Aaron Burr's political career died. He was indicted for murder both in New York City and in New Jersey, where the duel actually happened. The charges were later either dismissed or he was acquitted, but Aaron Burr's political career was over. Quick tip, if you shoot and kill somebody, especially like somebody like Alexander Hamilton, your political career is going to take a hit. The duel. And today is the 50th anniversary of one of the greatest books ever written, To Kill a Mockingbird. The legendary novel by Harper Lee was first published on this date, July 11th, 1960. I looked this up the other day, and there are still campaigns out there, mostly in the South, but in some pockets of this country as well, mostly in the South, that want To Kill a Mockingbird removed from public classrooms because of the use of racial epithets. Just thought I'd throw that out there. To Kill a Mockingbird, great book. 32 minutes after the hour. Birthdays. An historic birthday. The 6th President of the United States, John Quincy Adams. He was also the very first president to have his photo taken, because that's the photo. He was born in this state in 1787, died in 1848 at the age of 80. He was the driving force behind the Monroe Doctrine. The Monroe Doctrine, which basically laid the foundation of 200 years of American foreign policy. He actually wrote the Monroe Doctrine. James Monroe gets the credit, but it was John Quincy Adams who pushed it. The only former president who, after he left office, was reelected to the House of Representatives, representing Massachusetts for 17 years after he was the president. He may have had the highest IQ of any president. His estimated IQ of 165 would make him #1 on that list, and he opposed slavery to the point where he correctly predicted that slavery would lead to civil war. John Quincy Adams, born in the state in 1767, and Richie Sambora, the American singer-songwriter, the guitarist. Of course, he was the lead guitarist with Bon Jovi for 30 years, and he very mysteriously left the group 5 years ago. He was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame a couple of months ago, reunited with the group, played with them. Why they left each other, nobody really knows. It's been very quiet. Richie Sambora is a very happy guy because he wrote the theme music for both Entertainment Tonight and The Insider. He wrote those theme songs. Richie did, so he's collecting royalties without having to work too hard. My kind of life. 34 minutes after the hour, everybody is entitled to Mike Magnotti's opinion. The topic today, it's these kids. It's these kids these days. Mike's commentary is coming up, and then my conversation with Kaylee Peterson and Carly Ludlow. You don't want to miss that. Don't go anywhere. You're watching Wake Up in Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
This is the NCW Life Community Calendar brought to you by LocalTel. Pineapple Mayhem is Saturday, July 14th from 7 to 9:30 p.m. at Calvary Crossroads Church. This free event for middle and high schoolers features games, activities, karaoke, snacks, and more. Come check out the new location for the Lighthouse at their open house Sunday, July 15th from 10 to 2. This will be home for the ministry soup kitchen, clinic, food distribution center, offices, and worship facility. For more information, visit ncwlife.com.
I have a doctor who knows what they're talking about.
It's just so much more hands-on and friendly than anywhere else I've ever been. It's really great to walk into somewhere where you feel welcomed and you feel accepted.
We've just been grateful for the care and respect that we've been given there.
And here when I come to visit my doctor, I'm not afraid to ask questions.
It's not just about getting you in and out.
I love my care at CVCH. It's awesome. Give it a try.
Dear Mary Maids, please clean the kitchen, and the cabinets, and floors, and the chairs. And I wish you could clean the dog. Colin is now feeding himself. Thanks, Megan.
Hi, Megan. No worries. We got it all cleaned up. Let's hope Colin gets past the spaghetti flinging stage soon. Till then, we've got you covered. See you next time. Mary Maids.
Wenatchee Valley College is now offering 4-year degrees. The need for engineering technologists is rapidly growing, and the new Bachelor of Applied Science in Engineering Technology is designed to meet the needs of local employers. Students with an associate degree can complete the program in only 2 or 3 years. The program is accepting just 20 students for fall quarter. Apply now at wvc.edu/engineeringtech.
We're here to celebrate every season with award-winning dining, full-service spa, and 170 waterfront guest rooms. Come experience our tradition of hospitality at Campbell's Resort on Lake Chelan.
The Arbiter of Stoke is a series that highlights a variety of outdoor adventure sports that are available in the Pacific Northwest. I dedicate my time to enjoying this natural playground. The decision is yours. How will you keep your Stoke?
Hey, this is Mike Mad Dog Magnati, and everybody is entitled to my opinion. Now, I just read a friend's Facebook post, and they asked if Cliff Notes were still a thing, because he mentioned them to a younger person who didn't know what he was talking about. Now, this made me think of how much other stuff I have mentioned to millennials that, to their loss, they've never heard of, like Sophia Loren, believe it or not, Aesop's Fable, the Leaning Tower of Pisa, Michelangelo's Moses, his statue David, and others. Farrah Fawcett, film noir, and of course the 2 best car chase movies ever filmed, Bullet and The French Connection. Millennials, they miss out on all this stuff. That reminds me of when my kids were younger, and when I wanted to share a classic movie with them, they'd moan, "Oh, black and white, we don't want to watch this." Oh gosh, it's painful just thinking about all the stuff that our younger generation has missed. Man, kids these days. This is Mike Mad Dog Magnati, and that's my opinion.
Vominos junk haulers are pleased to announce they've added moving services to their list of ways to make your life easier. Vominos Moving Service. No move is too big or small. In fact, Vominos does it all. Vominos employees are experienced at moving your home, office, business, and storage. They'll carefully load and unload your belongings. And for the do-it-yourselfers, Vominos also rents trucks and cargo trailers. Call Vominos Junk Haulers and Moving Service today to schedule your free estimate.
Boating is a great way to bring family and friends together. At Bobfile Boats and Motors, they have the boats for any lifestyle: fishing, wakeboarding, or just relaxing on the water. Buying a new boat is more affordable than you might think at Bobfile Boats and Motors. Online at bobfile.com or on Sunset Highway in East Wenatchee.
Bobfile Boats and Motors, we're dealing. Bobfile's gonna make you smile.
When you call Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning, you get 35 years of experience and customer service in the Wenatchee Valley. Dick's friendly staff strongly believe in repairing before replacing and service all major brands of HVAC units. Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning is your local, independent, trained comfort specialists, proudly serving all of North Central Washington. Call 884-6444 today.
Hey there, Wenatchee. I'm Sean Lee, and I'm inviting you to come down and check out what we're all about at Badger Mountain Brewing.
Great beer, good food, and an endless source of entertainment for the whole family. Our Honey Blonde beer is flying off the shelves at your local grocery store. But I tell you what, it's even better on tap. And while you're here, try our signature Badger sauce with one of our delicious meals. Whether you're in the mood for a wrap, salad, pizza, or nachos, Badger Mountain Brewing has what you're looking for.
And welcome back to Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. I am Dan Kuntz, your host on this Wednesday. Let's get some people fed. Let's get some people volunteering. Let's make this a better community. It's already a pretty cool community. Who's kidding who? Talk about the Green Bag Program and about AmeriCorps. To my immediate left is Kaylee Peterson, who's going to talk about the Green Bag Program, and to the far left is Carly Ludlow to talk about AmeriCorps and all that other good stuff. Welcome to the program, ladies.
Thank you.
You're first timers, so all first timers get the first question. A little background information. We'll start with you, Carly. Tell us a little bit about Ms. Ludlow.
I'm originally from Southwest Alabama. I graduated from college in Alabama in 2014, and I decided that I wanted to take a year and give back. So I chose to serve here with the Intermountain AmeriCorps program. I served 3 service terms, and now I have the chance to work for them and make volunteering opportunities within the Wenatchee Valley.
The Wenatchee Valley is not like Alabama, is it?
No,
Yeah.
so Alabama's all flat and junk, and the Wenatchee Valley's like a painting where there's always something to marvel at.
When they told you we're assigning you to Wenatchee, Washington, did you dig out a map and figure?
The thing about AmeriCorps is you get to choose where you get to go.
So why did you choose our little hamlet?
So a childhood friend of mine, she's now a teacher, a math teacher at Wenatchee High School. She chose to serve here. She served in Leavenworth at Tierra Village, and she really loved it. So she just kept calling me while I was finishing college, and I was just like, you have to do this. And so I took a look at it, and it was a really cool program, and the fact that I got to do it with a team of folks was a really cool opportunity for me.
So you like it here?
Yes, it's my home now. I'm a Washington State resident.
I love it. But you make it back to Alabama, I'm sure.
Every year for Christmas, it's the agreement that I go home for a couple of weeks, and I really miss the food sometimes.
Yeah.
There's a vendor at the farmer's market who has green tomatoes, and so I've been getting a little taste of home with some fried green tomatoes. Roll Tide. War Eagle.
Oh, she's an Auburn fan. Good for you. I don't much care for Alabama.
It's
either.
okay.
Kaylee, a little bit about you.
Well, I'm from Western Colorado originally. I graduated last year from college and decided I wanted to do AmeriCorps and talked to Carly, and she convinced me to come out here. And it's been a great experience. My service is actually up in August. And
so next month you're heading back to Colorado.
Yes, that's correct.
So you've been here about a year?
Yep.
Your impressions of the Wenatchee Valley?
Wenatchee's a lot like Western Colorado, so it's been comfortable. It's been a lot of fun. I'm loving it. I'm sad to go.
Yeah. So Carly's sales pitch worked?
Oh yes.
What was her sales pitch to get you up here?
That it's beautiful, that it's a wonderful team, and that it's a great community. So.
Did she mention this program at all?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, a bunch of times. You brought something with you. Now this is kind of funny. In the world of television, we call chroma key. This is a virtual studio, and so the guests, green doesn't work because green, the computer will green out. So this is the Green Bag Program, and this is what Kaylee's here to talk about, but I'm going to hold this up and you're not going to be able to see it because it's green. You can see the logo there. There we go. There's the logo. Yeah. Kaylee Peterson, Green Bag Program 101. Talk about this.
Yeah, so the Green Bag Program is a program of Chelan Douglas Community Action Council. It is designed to be a door-to-door food collection program, so a sustainable food drive. So every other month, odd-numbered months, we have these bags that we deliver to people's houses, and they're just responsible to fill the bag throughout the month. And then we have drivers, volunteer drivers, come and pick up the bags, and then we take them to the Food Distribution Center. That is also a program of the Community Action Council. And then it is again distributed to local food banks. So there's about 10 to 12 food banks that we serve. We also serve several meal programs. And so depending on what we get, it will go to those different places. And the green bag program is super beneficial because it provides just an additional quality source of food. It really helps the in-between times when maybe we're not getting as much from different sources. And so we always recommend that people who fill the bags put in whatever they would buy for themselves. Of course, it needs to be non-perishable. The top recommendations are always condiments and cans of soup and things
something that would balance out a diet as opposed to just here's another can of chili and here's another can of meatballs and that kind of stuff, right?
Yeah, so things that you would want to eat yourself, of course, but that are also healthy. A lot of the times our green baggers will put in foods for people who have dietary restrictions, which is super helpful because a lot of the people we serve are seniors who might have diabetes or like sugar restrictions, and so that's always super helpful to have that source of food. And so it's every other month, and we do January, March. We skip May because that's Postal Service.
Right, they do their own thing.
Yeah, they do a food drive, which we benefit from, so we don't compete with that. And then we do July, so our next pickup will be this Friday and Saturday. And then we do it again in September and November. So we do businesses on Fridays, and then on Saturdays we have drivers that go around to the houses and pick up there. And so that's one of the parts is that we are always looking for new people,
obviously,
to help us fill the bags. And so people can sign up to be a green bagger on our website. So that's just cdcac.org. We have our green bag program. They can just take a look at it, say, oh yeah, I want to do that. I want to help people.
You brought along a video that you did this yourself, did you?
I did. I made this video.
Okay, let's check it out. Us in the studio, we're going to use the monitor. For you folks at home, please use your televisions. Here it is. Two things that jump into my mind. Number one, it seems to be pretty convenient. You know,
Absolutely.
You just go shopping, you grab a couple extra cans, you put it in the bag, and then somebody else is going to come get it for you.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's a really low barrier program. We try to make it as easy as possible. And of course, we're always looking for people to help us pick up the bags.
I was going to say.
So while you're checking out the program to sign up, maybe you'd like to also become a driver.
Do you, for the people who are already in it, just regular Joe Schmoes who fill this up at their house, do you get a reminder, a phone call, hey, don't forget, we're coming by, so you know?
Yeah, so inside the bag we have a list of suggestions of what to donate.
Is there one in here?
I believe there is, yeah. And then we also have the pickup days. And then our wonderful RSVP coordinator, Karen Brugman, will give an email or a call to remind everyone that Green Bag Day is coming.
Okay.
And will you or won't you have a bag this month?
It's got everything you need. It's, tuna, chicken, beef, vegetables, fruits, because a lot of people don't think about canned fruits, because we eat fresh fruits here, but canned fruits last a lot longer.
Canned fruits help.
Soups, chili, juices, cereal, oatmeal, pasta, rice, mac and cheese, box dinner, MOUSC. This is a great idea. This is really cool.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm on board. Give me an invisible green bag. The website's the easiest thing to go?
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
To sign up, just go to www.cdcac.org.
And can you take more than one?
Yeah.
So you say, hey, I can fill 2 bags if you want.
Yeah, it'll be up to you. As many bags as you want, we'll give you.
Cool. Can you stick around, Kaylee? Because we're going to take a quick commercial break, then we're going to talk to Carly. But you ladies have a lot in common, so so don't go anywhere. And when we come back, we'll talk AmeriCorps. It's a cool program, and we'll do that with Carly when we return. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley live from Studio 2 in downtown Wenatchee on the NCW Live channel.
Eastern Washington. It's a great place to call home and a great time to own a home. It's the ideal place to lay down roots for your family and your future. Gisa Credit Union thinks Eastern Washington is a great place to own a home too. That's why we offer all kinds of home loans with personal attention every step of the way. We're your home. For home loans, we're Gisa Credit Union.
Sign up for the 7th Annual CCA Wenatchee Salmon Derby, July 20th through the 21st. With $7,400 in cash and prizes, this is the local event you can't afford to miss. Fish the Columbia River from the top of Rock Island Dam to the bottom of Wells Dam for your chance to win up to 5 place prizes for the heaviest fish and heaviest boat weight. Buy your tickets online, Hooked on Toys, or Sportsman's Warehouse. Help support our region's marine resources. Fish the Wenatchee Salmon Derby.
Did you know that our pets can put on extra weight just like us? Obesity is the most common preventable disease in dogs and cats. Your pet's excess weight can lead to health issues like joint pain, arthritis, diabetes, high blood pressure, and more. Dr. Shauna Bayes and the staff at Paws and Claws Veterinarian Hospital care about your pets, and they can help you keep them lean and healthy. Call Paws and Claws today at 888-PAWS or find them on the corner of 4th and Isle in East Wenatchee.
Oh, hey, Nate. What you doing there?
I'm just reading a book.
A book? I didn't even know they made those anymore. Where'd you get it?
Right down the street at Yield Bookshop.
Yield Bookshop? I'm gonna go check it out.
If you're looking for a good book to read, or you're in the market for some beautiful handcrafted creations from local artisans, look no further than Yield Bookshop right in the heart of downtown Wenatchee.
And we are back at 52 minutes after the hour on this Wednesday edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. I am Dan Kuntz with Kaylee Peterson, who we just talked to, and now Carly Ludlow. Before we go anywhere, you know your Auburn Tigers start their football season against my Washington Huskies this year. You know that. They play each other. Yeah, just thought I'd let you know.
I'll be praying for the Tigers.
Yeah, go Huskies. Carly Ludlow, as you know, came up here as an AmeriCorps person, and you're here to stay, which is a wonderful story. We got to get you in touch with the Chamber of Commerce and all those success stories. AmeriCorps 101, give folks a thumbnail sketch of what exactly AmeriCorps is.
So AmeriCorps is part of the National Service programs. National Service actually started back in the 20s. With the Civilian Conservation Corps. But over the years, as needs in our country have changed, different programs have been added. So AmeriCorps Vista, the program that Kaylee serves in, was actually created in the 60s when Lyndon B. Johnson declared war on poverty. And so it was like the Peace Corps, where you go into a community and you try to make sustainable programs and opportunities. AmeriCorps Vista is the domestic version of the Peace Corps in that way. And then in the 90s, President Clinton created the AmeriCorps program, or signed it in rather, and it's direct service. So it's a shorter commitment than Vista. It's 10.5 months versus a year, and it works directly with students and community members with needs. So the really cool thing about AmeriCorps is there are a ton of different programs beyond what even we have in the Valley that work to meet needs in communities. And amazing people who commit their time and talents to meeting needs in communities.
What planted this seed for you, Carly? Were you like in high school and you thought, hey, this program exists, I might want to do this?
Well, service has always been a really integral part of my family's values. So my father is a veteran, and my mom, even though she was a single parent and everything, volunteering and helping out wherever she could was always an important part of how she taught us community. And so it's really something that's always been ingrained in me. And I volunteered at a faith-based nonprofit while I was in college, and I realized that in a world where everyone was just like, someone should do something about that, I realized that I was someone and that I could be making a difference somewhere.
Yeah, I love, that's a perfect analogy. Somebody needs to do something about it. Well, wait a minute, I can do something about it. I probably should ask you the same question, Kayla. How did you get involved? What planted the seed for you to do this?
Well, similar to Carly, my family is very involved in volunteering in my home community. And so I always grew up with that mindset that if you can help, you should help. And as I was approaching graduation from college, I thought, hey, this is the right time to be a professional volunteer.
That's basically what you are. We're not kidding people. They don't get paid a lot of money, all right? I can tell you that. Success story. Talk about the Omi Garden thing. You guys just wrapped up a cool little project, didn't you?
Yes. So on top of serving full-time at organizations and schools and everything, AmeriCorps members on our team have a chance to do service projects. We participate in Make a Difference Day. We also will do spring projects that our members plan. So one of our members coordinated a service project with Omi Gardens, and our team got to gather together and work on some projects in the background at Omi Gardens, and it was a really fun day for them.
It looks like they were having a good time.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
They did a great job.
And I think we have one more photo to bring. I can't remember what else we have. There you go. What are folks looking at right there, young lady?
So that's actually a service project from last year. Some of our members were at the Powerhouse Ministries working to fix some odds and ends around there and do some beautification projects. So that's another service project, but it's also a cool reminder that throughout your service in AmeriCorps, you can create small, wonderful changes in communities.
That's a great story. And once again, they were smiling. It seemed the people seem to like it.
Yes.
So what's the ultimate goal? To plant the seed so throughout your entire adult life you are always have your finger in the community pie, so to speak, or helping out, you're paying it forward? Is that the big umbrella statement?
It's kind of like a dual benefit, because not only do communities benefit, and you kind of plant that seed that there are people out there who care, because a lot of AmeriCorps programs don't have an age cap, just very specific ones do. So it's really anyone from any background can come and serve and make a difference. But it does engage a lot of people in like a civic engagement level. It makes you aware of needs in communities and all the different hands-on grassroots way you can make a difference.
You're going to leave, Kaylee. You're going to head back to Colorado. What are you taking out of this when you head back to Colorado for your year here in Little old Wenatchee?
Well, funny enough, when I go back to Colorado, I'm doing another year of service.
Oh!
Yes. So AmeriCorps has been such a rewarding experience for me that as I go back, I want to do it again.
Is this a skill set that you now that you have this skill set of doing what you're doing, is this going to be a career for you? I mean,
definitely.
Okay, so that's cool.
I have learned that I very much enjoy working in nonprofits, and I've been able to learn a lot of different skills this past year. For example, fundraising, and
which is the meat and
recruitment.
potatoes. I mean, who's kidding who? You know,
yeah.
No dough, no programs. Well, good for you. I mean, what's it like to know what you want to do with your life at your age? Because I'm 53 and I don't even know. Is it pretty cool?
It's pretty scary, but pretty cool.
We have about a minute left. How do people get involved in AmeriCorps?
So we're actually recruiting. So if anyone is interested in serving 10.5 months to a year of full-time volunteering, you can check us out. Our website is intermountainac.com. And you can also check us out on Facebook, Intermountain AmeriCorps. And there's lots of benefits, and you get an education award and a monthly stipend. So you can check us out on the web. You can also call us at Chelan Douglas Community Action Council, 509-662-6156, and chat with me about your interest in national service.
In order to graduate from high school now in this state, you have to volunteer X amount of hours before you can get your diploma. Is this a good way to get those hours into?
No, because you need to be done with high school in order to serve in AmeriCorps.
Right.
But if you need volunteer opportunities, we typically know organizations that you can work with.
Yeah, they'll find you something to do. Trust me on that. Keep in touch. Have fun down in Colorado, and thanks for spending your time up here. All right, go Huskies.
War Eagle.
See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.